Blowtorch case didn't go as I'd hoped. Instead of the savior, I found myself impersonating the damsel in distress. Luckily, Burton came just in contrast to his usual MO. Blowtorch was about to take my head off with his bear. I got suspended from the service indefinitely, and I would soon discover that sitting on my hands would never be. I found the Miami Harbinger under my door, as I had every day since I'd subscribed. I immediately saw the blurb on the front page. Blowtorch had been identified as David Ramos, an ordinary man who made a living working as a plumber. The initials, the plumbing job, everything matched the information found in the letters. That crazy guy had given us, little by little. Despite Burton's timely intervention, Ramos was able to disappear into the night and not get. At least now the public knew his real identity. The leading story dealt with the disappearance of a young girl. Apparently, he was one of the richest and most powerful men in the city. The journalist was doubting the real disappearance of the teenager, assuming she was a runaway instead. Despite Burton's timely release, the leading story dealt. Apparently, he was the journalist. The envelope sticking out didn't have a normal appearance. A cold ship had I just received yet. I immediately noticed the strange seal with which it had been secured, but I would think about that later. With a trembling on the paper was an address and a series of meaningless numbers. Nothing else. The most absurd thing is that I'd probably have gone. So Ramos was back after just a few hours on the run. In the meantime, the Miami Harbinger was publishing news about the... What if she was the victim chosen by Blowtorch? I should... The morning news was being aired right then. Maybe there was still... What the hell was my remote control doing in? I didn't want anything from the truth. The poster claimed that the cold filled you with energy. I wondered if that was true. With blood and sweat, I had completed that collection of action figures after Green Dart. I had nothing to hang at the moment. There was nothing interesting among the items. Inside that fridge, it kept the device thermostat held in position. Removing it, but alright. I rarely ate the junk. I didn't want anything from the bar. I barely... Claudio, the owner of the bar where I worked many years before. Stella tried many times to teach me to... The leading story, apparently the journal... That TV had every possible function. I needed the remote control if I wanted to... The TV didn't turn on. The batteries were probably dead. Damn batteries. There must be some... Bobby was down there for a reason. I'd remove it only in case of extreme... Bobby the bear. The cell phone was inside the nightstand, comfortably resting. When I bent down to pick it up, I found myself... Mom and Dad, on holidays in Greece during their honeymoon. Dad with his typical... How long had it been since I left Italy? And them. Looking at that photo always left me with a sour... The night before, I'd even been able to deactivate that. I could finally use the phone to do what it was to... It represented the Sacred Heart of Jesus. My grandma insisted that I take it with me to America for protection. On the nightstand was a photo of my parents. Inside it was mainly... First, I needed to charge it somehow. I thought it was better to look for another solution. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do. The universal remote control, the best. If I left then, I wouldn't know what to look for precisely. I didn't want anything. The poster claimed that I wondered if the poster claimed that I thought it was better to look for another solution. The poster claimed that the cold filled you with energy. I wondered if that was true. I always preferred the sea to the mountains. The poster claimed that I wondered. I read somewhere once that a dead battery could regain a small amount of energy in an extremely cold environment. Could it be true? This story of batteries Hey, maybe that's what igloos are. Huge battery. Oh, that would explain why Eskimos were. It was time to discover if
The house of famous tycoon Eric Mulsberg, where an attempted break-in was reported last night. No statement has been released either from the police or the family, so the specifics of the offense are still. The only detail that has been leaked so far is some strange graffiti drawn on the front of the mansion, probably left by the same individual or group that attempted the. As you can see behind me, the symbol appears to have been applied using. We await confirmation on the origin of the liquid, with hopes that. Stay tuned to this network. From Gwendolyn Pratt, back.
that symbol on the wall. I saw it even before that swine of a. It was identical to the seal on the letter I just. I had no doubt anymore. Blowtorch was pulling out all the stops. I toyed with the idea of contacting Burton to bring him up to speed on the situation. If I could close the case myself, my superiors would be forced to reinstate. Was it really worth the risk of falling? Who was I kidding? I was never the kind of man to. It was high time. The thing to do next was retrieve Green Dart, just in case I needed to race off it. My beloved bike had been left at the HPD. Hey Richie, how's it going?
Hello, Lazarus.
Richard, we've been neighbors for 5 years now.
I like the sound of Lazarus.
There's something magnetic about it.
Speaking of magnetism, do you still have the...
Yeah, well, you know, it's complicated.
What do you mean by complicated? You didn't...
No, not lost. No. I used it in a secret mission.
My magnet. In a secret mission.
Very, very secret. So secret I...
Well, do me a favor and get it back to me as soon as possible.
And that's what it would remain for poor Richard. Any good news in the mailbox?
Once you could find love letters, now it's just bills and... Do you even read the advertisements they send?
No, I just use it to ignite the coal at the barbecue. See you soon, Richie.
Sure. Sorry, did I say Sunday?
Even worse, I have...
Oh, too bad.
The only one who'd die would be me if I went to another one of those... Of boredom. For months, I kept asking and asking Miss... Sooner or later, I would fall through. I was sure I would find only bills and late payment warnings. Sometimes it's better not to know. The Parmesan had been dangling from the ceiling for years, and by now, I used to prepare a trap for a rat that was haunting. I almost managed to grab it when the floor decided to collapse underneath. Moral of the story? The Parmesan was still hanging from those wires. I found a very bad surprise waiting for me outside the office. Those idiots in the department had pierced a tire of my beloved Green. Furthermore, the bike was locked to the... Wheelo probably... One thing was for sure. Hey, Wheelo.
Oh, it's just you.
Who else would it be?
A government inspector, maybe? There,
We are the HPD. The last place.
we work for justice, so we're all clean and spotless.
Actually, if we're talking about being clean, that doesn't. Listen, it's you has the keys to Green.
Yes, the chief inspector entrusted their custody to me. Can you?
Wheelo, if you don't give me the keys of my Green Dart right now.
I'll make an exception to the rule.
Hey, where did the second key come from?
The keys were delivered to me as you see them, but if you want.
I'll keep. What the hell happened to my Green Dart?
The vehicle has a puncture on the front tire. Not only that, it's.
Do you have any idea who perpetrated?
I don't have all the necessary evidence to make an.
Be a waste of time.
There's one, 5 blocks.
It took me 2 hours just to get here from my house. I'll manage some other way. Have you got any spare chewing gum?
It depends.
The President of the United States?
Very funny.
Well, perfect. That's exact.
Don't get any ideas. I'm done giving.
Come on. Stop talking nonsense.
Okay. Bring me the latest edition of Play Guy and maybe. What? I'm alone all.
Looks like I might have to spend the day running errands for this. On the other side of the street is a newsstand. I better hurry up if I don't want to waste too. A fiery red sport. I prefer two-wheeled vehicles by far. I had a vision of me uprooting the hydrant with my bare hands and then crooning. I don't know why, but I've always. Bullets in Love, the box office smash hit movie of the classic predictable thrill. It provided access to this. Many tourists love visiting. I needed Green Dart to move, but fixing it with my. I needed something to plug the breach. I didn't understand. I was all out of ideas. Could have easily opened the lock with the key, but I still. Hey, Wheelo, do you mind if I borrow this?
What do you have?
I don't know why precisely.
I, on the contrary, may need it for.
I had just been fired, and begging Burton wouldn't have. Good morning, Didier.
Bonjour, détective.
You're still practicing your French?
Je suis really French, detective.
Come on, cut the act.
Do you plan to pay this?
Pay? You're pretty.
I cannot extend you any more credit, detective. Your account has.
I refuse to pay even 1 penny to do.
On the other hand, Inspector Burton has left.
Seamus is really funny.
That is all for now. See you soon, detective.
By the way, your fake pronunciation. I had nothing else to say. The fountain wasn't especially elaborate, and to tell the truth, it also seemed out of place. It emitted a hypnotic water. Here's your magazine.
I asked you for a magazine with.
Here's your magazine.
I asked you for a magazine with naked women.
If I ever had the need for those tools. Putting it in my pocket was out of the question. I'd have sold if needed. I could have used it on the spot. Putting it in my pocket was out of the if needed. I could have tried asking him for it first. The wall had recently been stuccoed, so it definitely had more refined look compared. Hello.
How can I help?
You're doing a really great job.
You can say that again. Listen to old Tom.
If he could, that man would have exhibited his stuff. Is that magazine?
Of course it's mine.
Well, this is a very. In short, I urgently need that.
I understood full well what kind of urgency, but unfortunately, I haven't. Look at those soft curves. Those.
Please, let's not get into.
What do you suggest? So I can't give it.
Well, I tried asking politely. No. The wall had recently been stuccoed, so it definitely had more refined look compared to. Ramos was everywhere, constantly reminding me of the. I didn't understand. In that moment, it didn't seem. He was getting down with that guitar. Was his mother distracted? Stealing the balloon and lollipop from the kid would be How low I've sunk. If I ever had the need for those tools. Putting it in my pocket was out of the question. I'd have sullied my if needed. In that moment, yes, I would rapidly switch the covers so that the mason wouldn't notice. No, I felt more at ease. Here you are, you filthy pervert.
But these were not the kinds of pecs.
Take the cover off, you idiot.
Oh, now I get it.
Don't get smart. No, I want the chewing gum we agreed.
Help yourself, but make it could look like attempted.
Hey, we look.
What do you have?
I don't know.
Eye on.
The chewing gum was exactly what I needed. I prayed it didn't stick to my gloves or I'd have to spend. The chain remained the last obstacle to freedom, but fortunately, I still couldn't take the bite.
What clumsy hands!
I had. I think I felt a twinge in my hand.
And you scored.
Which physical law of the universe causes keys to inevitably fall inside the. Opening the grate with bare hands was impossible. Besides, I saw no alternative. To recover but this would take time. I had already wasted 2 months. By then, the sun was almost setting. I decided to head out immediately, hoping not to miss the appointment. When I reached the place, the sun had already set. An old, desolate alley in West I didn't know what to expect yet. It seemed like a vending machine for chewing gum. Damn. A TV and bits and pieces. The kitchen was closed. Whatever I might find. Hey, are you? No answer. Not even a. Then I realized how things. What the?
Lazarus Bundy. Forgive this production, but I can't be with you in person for reasons beyond my control. The young Malsberg's kidnapping is just the first piece of a complex puzzle A plan which, if not stopped, threatens to drag all of us to our doom. I leave the responsibility in your hands, Detective. Catherine Molesburg must be found, and her kidnappers brought to justice. Look for my symbol.
I forced myself to interpret all this like a very bad joke. I failed. I started with the conviction to end my challenge with Ramos. And the tone of that man suggested only determination. That guy really believed. Racking my brain would have been useless, so maybe the night would bring much needed insight and the... As was happening more and more often, I hadn't slept much. Had I really received a bloody challenge from a lunatic with a mask? I needed confirmation, and the HPD office seemed the best place to look for it. Today's Miami Harbinger. Who knows if it... Father Verb, one of the most influential and controversial figures of our time. Years before he had received the Nobel Prize for... apparently he had recently decided to return with a book attacking the I didn't know much about it. The HPD refused to share their progress on the blow. No standard procedure. Initially, unless Gwendolyn Pratt had an interest in the story. Huh. I had to go to Molesberg's mansion as soon as possible. To do that, I faced two problems. I had to convince Seamus Burton and recover the keys that kept Green Dart imprisoned, which I accidentally dropped. It would also be useful to visit the alley again, where just a few... I was sure I would find only bills and late payment warnings. Sometimes it's better not to know. The hike from the previous evening was enough. I had to regain possession of... Hey, Wheelo. I'll go check if the package I've been waiting on for 3.5 months has arrived. Hey, Wheelo. I need permission to enter, Wheelo.
The HPD is not open to civilians, but if you need to press charges...
I came to visit Seamus, Wheelo. Is it necessary?
Curious that you mentioned...
Oh, God. Let's just do this old school.
Actually, there is one thing an ignorant... Do you see that red sport?
It's impossible not to see that fire.
A fireball parked for 3 days in a spot reserved for a public... I tried to have it towed, but they just...
I can't imagine why, but okay. I'll make...
If you need tactical support...
I'll go check the level of the sea salting it. To enter the building, Wheelo was the one responsible for Hey, Wheelo. I'll go check that. She was planning to commit to film every detail that might be worth showing to her. That fountain was horrible. I didn't know. I had nothing else to say. She was planning to... That fountain was... She was planning... That fountain... The fountain wasn't as... Admitted... The fountain wasn't as... I had nothing else to ask. He was getting... Ramos was everywhere. Maybe in there I'd have found something that might have helped me get rid of the elite.
Hey, you! What are you trying to do?
I was checking that all tools are in compliance with the
Are you a trade union?
No, I'm just a citizen who values this.
If you really care about your health, leave the...
Putting it in my pocket was out of the question. I'd have sullied my amazing coat. If needed, I could have used. The magnet wasn't strong enough to attract the tools. I didn't understand. How many acts of vandalism could I perpetrate with a simple... How many acts of vandalism? By that time, they were all using those... I had nothing else to say to that fake Frenchman. Some men are able to move a car with their bare hands, as if I was... Hey, Wheelo, do you mind if I borrow this marker for a while?
What do you...
I can use...
All right, go ahead and take it. I prefer the
I will never understand why you keep using quills instead...
pens contain microchip for satellite tracking.
It would have surely forced the coroner to move it away, but what I needed was a more cunning and... Maybe I could retrieve the key to the lock by regretfully climbing down into the... Lifting the manhole cover with my bare hands was an under... I thought it was better to look for another... Better think about it. An inviting toolbox, stuffed with the lights of 1,000 uses. Ramos was everywhere. Maybe. Or... I didn't understand how that could... In that moment, it didn't seem to be a good solution to me. I thought it was better to look for... So long as the Mason was alert and careful, I wasn't going... An inviting... I consider myself a bad boy, except... Hey, boss. Some punk must have targeted... There it was. The clip. Found an adjustable... Worn out... Huh, and a brand new measure. Sometimes, by rotating the gear, this made it useful for anything that could be unscrewed. I didn't understand. It would have surely forced the coroner to move it away when I... It would have surely forced the... When I... I didn't understand how... No matter how hard I tried, I thought it was better to look for an... It would have surely forced the... When I need... Hey, Wheelo. I'll go check that there's no... Some men are able to move a car with their bare hands. I was no... Was it really worth it? Sometimes, my obsession... I thought it was better. By rotating the gear, this made it useful for anything that... It would have surely forced when I need... I thought it was better to look for another solution. By rotating the gear on the upper part of the wrench, it was possible to adjust it. This made it useful for anything that could be unscrewed. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. In that moment, I could see my reflection on the glass door. And who? I could see my reflection on the and